YouTube, I'm Elwirfy and today we're going to be watching some Starcraft 2. That's right, we're coming at you with the Starcraft. Man, I haven't played this game in such a long time. I really wanted to jump back into it, so today we're going to be checking out some games today. Pretty cool. Pretty darn cool. In this episode, we're going to be looking at probably one of the closest games I've ever played, and I thought it was really exciting, and we're going to watch it from my perspective, and then of course as usual that'll be the end of the first half of the video, and then we'll look at it from my opponent's side and see kind of how they were playing their game, kind of doing some game analysis, looking at the overall concepts, and pretty soon I'm thinking about starting to do kind of a teaching for Legacy of the Void, just kind of stuff I found for Terran specifically. Now this is emphasis on that, Terran specifically, which means I won't be talking about Zerg or Protoss. Maybe I'll relate certain concepts to, like, you know, how to deal with Zerg and Protoss. But today we're going to be looking at a Terran versus Terran. That's right, another Civil War match. Terran seems to be very popular these days, but not more popular than Protoss, of course. Protoss, I think, being the most popular, and Zerg, as far as I know, are the least popular to play in the latter. Anyway, that's enough of that intro. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, let's go ahead and slow down to just faster speed. So, of course, you got the good luck, have fun. Very, very nice to have. Fighting against the red Terran Sponic. As you can see, I've changed up my color to be white because, again, I want to match the Elwirfy thing. When you're playing in the ladder, you can change your color while you're playing, but just know that it won't always, like, the enemy won't necessarily see you as white. It's just how you are perceiving it. So let's actually go ahead and follow my camera. So that way we can just kind of see everything we're doing right now. Just going to be doing early game stuff, doing supply depot in the refinery. I like doing this build this way, simply because you're able to get your barracks in time, and you don't have to wait around, you know, for the refinery, because some people like to do supply depot, barracks, refinery. I think that's too slow, but it does, however, mean you get a faster orbital command. Which, as you'll see here, though, I do go for that second gas. If you look in the top right, you can see my resources and my opponent's resources. There's only so much I can hide from you guys. But as you can see, the barracks will, in fact, be going down right now. And we're going to go ahead and see that we're doing full gas saturation. And what I'll be doing in this game is I'll be doing some Cyclone play. I've been kind of liking the Cyclones a bit more, but, again, you can really never go wrong with tanks, of course. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of tiny spoiling. I'm going to open up the production tab so we can just kind of see what people are producing. Well, actually, no. Let's not use that yet. Let's hold off on that for the later analysis. So for now, as you can see, I'm just making my supply depots. You know, again, if you go to production tab, you can see the buildings I'm making. You know, I'm making my factory already too. We're at about 23 supply. Haven't finished the supply depot yet, but that'll be finished soon enough. Then we'll be cranked up back to 31 supply, which will be kind of more ideal. Which is a more ideal spot where you want to start building out and expanding troops. You'll notice I haven't actually built any units. I got a Total Biscuit announcer, so you'll hear him popping in his voice occasionally. I hope that the sound of my game is okay. It's been a while since I've messed with the sound settings, but hopefully, again, it's good. I'm going to crank up my own personal volume for the game. That command center upgrade you ordered is here. Just to make sure that the game is loud enough, so if the first part was a bit quiet, I apologize. As you can see, dropping in mules when we can. Got a bit of idle SCV workers here, but that's all right, because, you know, not much. Just, I'd got to have stuff to spend my minerals on. Currently saving up right now. Going to be making another barracks. I really want to get that bio going. Because against Terran, I find that I don't need to go mech as heavily, whereas if I'm fighting Protoss, mech might be more useful. Add-on is done. I am building Marauders. As you can see, I don't really have Marines right now. Because Marines, again, I mean, they're good, but there's not really much early aggression from air that Terran can do unless they did Banshees, but Banshees aren't really common anymore. You don't really see the Banshee play. So that's always something your research is done. Don't forget to think about. So yeah, just cranking out Marauders one at a time. Keeping that money low. Keeping money low is very important. Again, not overspending. Kind of have a bit too many workers in gas. I'll admit it might have been better in hindsight, looking back, to maybe have less guys in the gas. But that's all okay, because I'm actually doing kind of an all-in strategy. Now, I'm not following any particular build order. This is just me kind of freestyling. This is my first game back into StarCraft after, you know, who knows how long it's been. I'm only making this series in part because probably make the video a little dated, but Day 9 just started doing his Starcraft Remastered series, and I'm thinking about doing the remastered Starcraft myself, although it's been many, many years since I've played Brood War, which makes things a bit tricky. So as you can see, again, I'm getting a lot of tanks, you know, Marauders coming up, just kind of the general good things that we like to see.
Oh, it's on.
You know, we have
add-on
Reactor
complete.
coming down, so now we're going to start making Marines. Again, I didn't really value Marines that much in this game, didn't find it very useful. Getting a Cyclone instead of the second tank, just again because I want to be able to get my Marauder production to be pretty good. Kind of cute. I kind of queue up some Marauders, I do believe, at some point. Which isn't good. So my goal for this game is to try and end the game before 10 minutes. That's the goal, because I like having the short games, plus it makes it easier for my videos to analyze. I can do a drawn-out game, and I'm very happy to. I like drawn-out games. They're fun, but it kind of just is more stress, more pressure, and again, this video has been recorded in tandem with another video that I'm recording on this particular day of the day of its recording, and you'll see in the next episode there's going to be a bit of a longer game in which I'll be talking about some very interesting concepts. But for now, as you can see, if you go to the Units tab, I've got 2 tanks, 5 Marauders, 4 Marines. My opponent is more focused on the Marine count. Our SCV count is about the same, and as you can see, I'm making a command center. At about 5-minute mark is about when it should be halfway done. Generally, if you're going to go for that expand, I'm doing, of course, not the fast expand. You can fast expand as Terran. I think fast expanding is actually quite nice, but again, for this build, because I was kind of getting myself situated back into the game, kind of doing more of just building the stuff. Remember, for those of you who haven't, you know, it's been a while since you've seen it, if you look in the bottom center, you can see what I'm clicking on, you know, what I'm kind of going through, you know, just how I'm building. I want to point out, by the way, that in my gameplay, I do not use hotkeys, not because I think they're bad, just because I'm not good with hotkeys. So everything you're seeing I'm doing is done without hotkeys. So if you think that, hey, I can't get into StarCraft, it's too many keys to remember, too many things. Well, it's not really. You don't really have to worry too much. So as you can see with this composition I've created, I have submarines. I would say my build struggles with anti-air, but again, the Cyclones help to mitigate that a bit. As you can see, I have
Research complete.
Marine Marauder Cyclone, some tanks on the high ground to give that support. Again, going to get this expansion up and running pretty soon here, but I am trying to prepare for some sort of a nice push. This, I do believe, if I remember, it's been a while since I played this game, so bear with me. I do believe we do a push in 8 minutes. I think that's one of the timings that I like to do. I like to do 5-minute pushes and 8-minute pushes, because those are 2 critical times. 8 minutes is good to beat the Colossus from coming out. 5 minutes is good to beat Immortals sometimes, if you're doing against Protoss. Against Terran, because it's mirror match, since I know what I can do in a certain amount of time, I have to assume they have the same things. So it's about being efficient. And that's one thing StarCraft really is about, that people don't really think about, is that StarCraft is about having an efficient use of your resources. As you can see, getting this expansion up and running, going to be doing more mineral focused, not really necessarily going for this gas. So yeah, just kind of checking up on things. Going to be making sure all my SCVs are mine. You don't want to have idle SCVs. As you can see, I got the cool skin for the Marines, because I've been playing StarCraft a lot. So all my Marines look kind of jacked up, but that's all right. I do, of course, have the upgrades. I have the Marine combat shields. I got the Marauder concussion shells and Stimpack.
You've
I
built
do
a
not
fancier command,
because I don't personally think the Stimpack's very good worth using if you're not also going medevac. Back in Brood War, there were medics, so it would be a lot easier and a lot more realistic to be getting medics and Stimpack, because Stimpack, it hurts your Marines, but it makes them shoot faster. So while shooting faster is very good, it's a very important way to deal with, you know, kind of the swarming, you know, the large attacking forces. It doesn't necessarily always help if the enemy just has more raw power, because your units are weaker, they'll get killed faster. So it's about evens out. That's why I don't normally go for Stimpack. Again, as you can see, we're coming up on the 8-minute mark, so I do believe this is about when I'm going to start doing a push. It might not be exactly at 8 minutes, but I'm pretty much, you know, getting ready to think about trying to get for that 3rd base. You know, I got my expansion up and running, and I'm pretty sure maybe this game is a bit long. Maybe I wait for the +1 attack upgrade. Having upgrades is very important. If you don't have the attack upgrades, you're going to be at a severe disadvantage. Yeah, so about at 8 minutes, that's when we're going to start seeing the army push out. Again, in StarCraft 2, as you know, you have giant kind of balls of units. You don't necessarily have, you know, groups spread out throughout the different areas of the map. They're more just going to be clustered together, which means I can do an attack move to have my army go out, and then just kind of do more base management. Again, you don't need to have hotkeys set up in order to be managing your base efficiently while commanding your army. I kind of move my army out first just to kind of secure it. As you can see, my money's getting a bit high, so something to improve on that I need to work on personally. Just being able to spend my money more to make sure we're getting the most efficient use out of my units.
Out of minerals.
So again,
Upgrade
I'm
complete.
Going a bit cautiously because I want to keep my men in a ball, just so that way everyone, just so that way all my guys kind of stay together. I don't want there to be a line, because if you do a line, then it's much easier to get picked off. Again, doing research, doing upgrades, building up a secondary force, because you should expect to lose your first attack, just so that way you have a backup plan. As you heard, I just made a Thor. Thor is going to be good for that anti-air. Having some good anti-air other than Marines, I think is very important. Now, Cyclones do move a bit faster, so you kind of got to be mindful of that. So as you can see, I'm kind of moving off to the side a bit, so that way they all can go in at once. Again, pushing up against the Terran forces here. Now, so as you can see, I saw some troops moving in, and I try and pick them off. He peels one back. That's a good way to preserve troops. But I realized, you know what? Starcraft isn't really about killing troops, it's about killing
You want more
bases.
stuff? Build more
So I go ahead and get ready to start going after the base. As you can see, it's a pretty nice army. Don't have a lot of upgrades. With
Your supply block.
tanks,
Your base is under
but I'm just
attack.
gonna
We're all
besiege
gonna
it.
die.
And as you can see, we're being attacked
You are
here.
fresh out of minerals at that base.
And then I decided, you know what? I think I can do it. Because I have a +1 attack upgrade. I have no medevacs, but
Base is under attack.
I think about it, I'm like, well, I'm just going to do a base race. So yep, this is going to be a base race in its purest form of base racing. So I kind of ignore that. I
remember when this was all minerals. I
I
don't want to alarm anyone, but the base is being attacked. I see
Yeah, so I
minerals.
left
I
off
see
my
gas.
command
I see
center and I
SCV
pretty much fly
harass.
away.
Upgrade complete.
That's one nice thing about having it. So I kind of do an attack order, ordering my troops to attack. Then I come back down to the space, again, target, making sure we target the troops, the buildings that can lift off.
Your
I don't want them to
SCVs
lift
can't
off.
mine when they're dead.
It's very annoying to have to go chase down flying buildings. And I don't have a lot of Marines, so it makes things a bit worse. So again, kind of shooting through. And I realized, you know, since
Your
this is
SCVs are being
Starcraft 2,
harassed.
the
It's
engineering
ruining
bay,
workplace morale.
the engineering bay is unable to lift off, so I kind of ignore the engineering bay, and I just take out that one. So now we have some more flying buildings. Again, also it's important to make sure all workers are killed off.
Your SCVs are being harassed. It's ruining workplace morale.
So that's something to
Your
keep in
base
mind.
is under attack.
If
We're
you're
all
going to
gonna
do a
die.
base race and you're not going to retreat back to your own base to defend it, just make sure you have no way to continue the production of your building. So as you can see, I get the message that he hasn't built his base with paper building. So I go ahead and start clearing
I
it
see
out.
minerals. Your base has some SCV
And
harass.
as you can see, I'm getting hurt. My base is being destroyed just as much as his is. I don't have a lot left, but that's his last building. So I'll be able to win the game barely. And as you can see, I go and I check it out. Oh well. It's not the other world. He thinks it's all of fine stuff, but of course he doesn't know about the command center. So that's very good, and that will actually be the end of the game for my perspective. So that's what's called a very close base race. Don't normally do that. I don't like doing that. It's not fun. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start the replay over. So as you can see, it was 11 minutes. We're going to start the replay over. Oh, nope. We're going to go ahead and go to his camp. We're going to actually do the everyone cam, so that means he'll be the blue now. And we're just going to go ahead and take a look at kind of the movements of the map as a whole. Again, we're going to speed this one up a little bit faster. So let's talk about now the production tab, and let's see what we're making. So pretty similar build orders coming out, again, doing supply depot than gas. I'm a little slower in this regard, as you can see, but we're pretty even, because again, having matching races helps. I'm not going to follow his camera specifically as we do this. I'm going to just drink my water because early game is very standard. So as you can see, he's getting the wall off, just as I will be getting my wall off. Wall off very important. You do it against all three races, doesn't matter what it is or who it is. You just get the wall off, right? That's just what you do. All right, and then he's going for another barracks. That's really interesting. As you can see, I'm also going to be doing the supply depot play versus, and I'm getting a factory. He's going for a double barracks. That means he's probably doing a more bio-heavy focus, which means he's going to get a more higher composition Marines and Marauders. As you can see, I'm just building a factory. He's going for barracks. So that's something to note. I'm getting my orbital command faster than he is, whereas he's getting his upgrades for his combat shields for his marines faster. Alright, so there's a bit of a difference there. Again, looking at the production tab, unit tab, he's got his first marine out, and he's beating me in SCVs. But again, he's going to be slower on getting his factories. So that's something to think about. What are you trading for? He just finished his orbital command, so that's really useful to have. I do if I... Oh, did I... Oh, I hit the wrong button. I did not want to hit that. Hit B. I thought it would do something. Hopefully the recording didn't break. If not, I got to slice them together. Oh, well. So let me just go to this tab. Let's see if I can see structures. Yeah, T. T is structures. Okay, so as you can see, I have an orbital command. He has an orbital command. I have more supply depots. I have a factory. He has his engineering bay out faster, so he's going for those upgrades. We both have 2 barracks. We both have a tech lab. I have an extra tech lab. He has an extra reactor, and we both have our 2 gas. So very, very similar. Looking at the unit tab, I have a tank and 3 marauders. He has 2 marauders, 6 marines. I have 2 tanks now. So as you can see, kind of a different way that you build up your forces as well in this game. So that's something to always keep in mind. You know, he has his troops at the front guarding that expansion. Of course, I'm not going to be doing early aggression. And as you can see from the game timer, which I've left up on purpose, we're coming up at about the end of the early game, you know, because 5 minutes, again, is when people might attack, generally, and you'll see I'm getting my Cyclones, whereas he, go ahead, and if you go to Production tab, he's getting Starport, and he's go ahead and going to be making a reactor for that Starport. He also is getting his +1 attack upgrades, so very important to have that. And then, of course, I'm getting my combat shield, making marines. He's getting stim. I'm not getting stim. And he goes ahead and he's going to... I'm going ahead and making my command center a bit faster. I'm going to get a faster expansion off, which is very important, as you can see. So, again, we're viewing this from the blue player's perspective. He's thinking, okay, he wants to do a drop. As you saw, he dropped in our main base. So he's doing more bio because he can fit more guys into medevac, which makes sense. Medevac heals, you know. It's very good. Nothing wrong with doing some medevac play. I think it's fine. My biggest flaw, I think, in his strategy was how slow he got his starport. I feel like the starport should have been making medevacs a bit sooner, and he didn't put a reactor on his medevacs, which I think is another problem. If I was doing a drop, I would be going for a lot of medevacs. Maybe he'll switch it, because he is getting the upgrade to make medevacs go a bit faster. He's getting the +2 upgrade. Again, in this game, his extra killing ability won't be as much of a deal because we are doing a base race. But just so you know, since I'm just now starting my first attack upgrade, he would technically win a straight-on fight. Now, keep this in mind, though, that I have more mech. I have 4 tanks and 3 Cyclones. He does not have tanks. He has no mech to speak of. He has a factory, but he's not building out of his factory. I always like the philosophy of, if you're gonna be, having buildings that are useless, try not to do that. Try and get something out of it, even if it's Hellions. Hellions are a good way to dump your extra minerals into something, and, if you get the armory for the upgrade, you could maybe have Hellbats. I really like Hellbats. They're really nice. Anyway, so as you can see, he's kind of built up his bio stuff, and I'm now pushing out at this point. So he's got about 4 medevacs here. That each medevac can carry about 8, so that'll be about, 24. So that'll be able to carry about 24 guys. Obviously, he could carry either all of the Marines, split them up. So, but obviously not all of them are going to be able to fit into his medevacs. That's why, as you can see, he's getting more. He didn't actually load up that 5th medevac, which seems a bit strange to me. If he had done that, he might have been able to actually win the base race because he would have had a bit more stuff. Again, I guess he's loaded up. I don't know why. I guess that was the same. So then he starts coming in. So here, I'm going to pause. I want to see it from his perspective. Let's view his camera. Let's just see what kind of choices he's making. So this is a point where he is going to be flying directly into the back of my base.
Under attack.
Go ahead and attack Okay, and let's actually slow it down. So he comes in and he's dealing damage. He's going after my stuff. Obviously, I have these tanks on the low ground, making it a bit rough for him. He's playing bio. I go ahead and push up what troops I have. Try and heal him. He stims, which is a very good choice. Again, because my Thor automatically targets the medevacs, it makes it a bit tougher. I didn't really manage my anything up here. I just kind of gave him oh yeah, whoever went up here is stalled. Or stalled. Maybe. He is not even aware of my expansion as far as he knows. This is all I have. It's very important to note.
Is under attack.
And his base being attacked, he's not moving off this. He fixes all of his stuff. And see, now it's too late. Now he's finally getting ripped off. So now it's a base race. And that's kind of something to think about when you're going into base races. Is that when you're doing this, you're not necessarily...
Base is under attack.
You're not necessarily being protect all your and he'll notice, he should have noticed at this point, that I was not being trapped command center that's flying far, far away. I'm just gonna avoid it at all costs. Try and find a spot where he physically couldn't reach me.
Base is under attack.
And yeah, so that'll be that. So obviously he moves down. He starts to move down to try and deal with it, and that. Well, that'll wrap it up right there. So really close game, actually, if you think about it. It was a really close game. I mean, I won off of this building, and I had these. I mean, I guess the Thor didn't die. It just kind of didn't move up like I told it to, which is kind of a shame. So I had all this versus this small amount, and yeah. So that's why it'll be. It would have been rough even if the game went on. He had another base for him, just because I have more stuff. So that's another thing. Starcraft is all about more stuff, so if you have more stuff, you're obviously going to do a little bit better, which is quite nice. And anyway, guys, thank you all for watching this episode. I thought it was super cool, looking at the two different sides, the way I did my stuff, and the way he did his stuff, you know, doing two different styles, the way those mixed and match, both resulted in a base race, but it happens sometimes. You know, base races, I don't like doing base races, but that's just how the game played out. So anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. As always, I'm Elwirfy, and I will see you guys next time.